first time I went to jail, the first time I went to juvenile, I was like 14 years old. You feel me? At this time, I was living in the projects in Montgomery Village. I went to juvenile for shoplifting. I went like we took me and some homegirls from Montgomery Village. We took the bus to the mall, and we go steal some clothes. And you know how females is, they took too long. Cause when I would go with my homeboy at that time, we would just go in and out. We would go and get whatever. But you know, females how they take the time. But why we even still in the clothes code? We were struggling. We didn't have it. Our parents were having their way. We were having our ways, and we didn't want people to make fun of us at school. You roasted us, you know what I'm saying? So we that's why we was doing it. And so the females that like they used to see us fresh, like how y'all do it. I'm like, let's go to the mall then. But you know how they was with them, and it took too long. By the time the police had came, but I'm the only one that ended up going to juvenile because I was scared to call my dad and tell him, hey man, because I already know what my dad was gonna do to me. I went to juvenile for that. I got out. I didn't learn my lesson though. I just kept getting worse and worse. I was already becoming a product of my environment. Now this time I'm like 14 years old, and he didn't give me a whooping at the time. But yeah, I just kept getting worse and worse because I was still in the same environment. But anyway, fast forward, this time I'm 17. He had sent me to Kentucky because he wanted, he was trying to he was just trying to make me a better person. He was trying to protect me. He sent me to Kentucky to live with my cousins, and I ended up again. Second time, I go to juvenile for armed robbery, like 17. You know what I'm saying? And but after that, I stayed out of trouble for like a long time, probably like 6 or 7 years. And then maybe I don't know, it was 2021, 2022. I get locked up again. And ever since I got locked up the time, it was like a revolving door. Like every 6 months I would just go to jail. Like I was into legal problems or whatever, like for like, so I just kept going like every 6 months in and out of jail, in and out of jail. Like I didn't learn my lesson. And every time I would be like, man, this is my last time going to jail. When you in there, you like, but it didn't happen. I had to go to jail. I had to go to jail 8 different times to finally learn my lesson. I had to go to jail 8 different times to finally surrender my life to God. You know what I'm saying? And what changed? What caused it? You know what I'm saying? What drove me to finally give my life to God? Because I was in a tough situation, man. I was like, the witchcraft wasn't working no more. Because most of the time when I would go to jail and I would tell my partner, hey, bro, do a spell, tell you the people in Nigeria. I say, hey, bro, say that A2S, call the people in Nigeria, tell them to perform a ritual for me. He'll perform a ritual, and then 3 weeks I'll get out of jail. So I'll give out the praises to these deities instead of giving that to Jesus. I'm like, man, it didn't change. I counted on that. But I didn't ask myself, why is this witchcraft? Why this voodoo? Why didn't I protect me from going to jail in the first place? I was blinded. I was in bondage, held and blinded by the devil. You see what I'm saying? And that's what the devil do. But anyways, so I can't make any excuses. But when I got when I got locked up for the 8th time, that's when the dramatic transformation came, because you know what I'm saying. So I'm in a situation. I'm asking my partner to do the ritual, sending money for him to do the rituals, and they say, yeah, and I'm asking like, bro, am I gonna get out of jail? He's like, you gonna get out of jail? No, he's like, you gonna get your freedom soon. I'm like, man, it's a yes or no. I'm telling bro, like, it's a yes or no question. Am I gonna get out of jail? Is this gonna get me out of jail? Now he wouldn't tell. So, and I tell my partner like, bro, and I mean, they're like, man, if he don't tell me this time, bro, I'm and I started reading the Bible. Somehow I don't know what let me even read the Bible in there. I just thought, when you wouldn't feel like when I first grabbed the Bible, it was like, man, I ain't got nothing to do. Let me read this Bible. But subconsciously, I was looking for hope. I was looking for a way out. So I started getting more closer with God, whatever, through the transformation. And I started testing the powers of like, okay, let me test the powers of this. And test the powers of them, Jesus Christ. Because the Bible says the kingdom of God consists of powers, not just mere talk. So I'm like, let me test the powers. And I would test the powers. And when I would pray like, God, do this for me. I speak about that in my book. But like, God, do this for me. Tell you how they would do it for me concrete. The witchcraft, because I had altars in my room, in my cell, demonic altars. Every morning I would pray, give our friends, and say some chants, so some kind of sacred chance, whatever. And I stopped doing it. I even got to the point where once I got more like stronger, my faith got stronger with God. I even threw away the altars, even the seals, because at first the seals like, man, I hope you don't put no witchcraft, no voodoo on us, man. We don't want no smoke. And then after they found out to my transformation, everybody started to change. I started like my whole, it was like a dramatic transformation, right? Because like I said, my situation, I told God, like, God, if you get mad, this was before God even got mad at the situation, before I was even gone for 10 months. I was like, God, if you get mad at the situation, man, I'm gonna change my life for you, bro. I'm gonna stop doing whatever. I'm gonna stop everything for you. I'm gonna stop, you know what I'm saying? And I meant it, bro, because I realized at that time the witchcraft couldn't get me out of jail. I was facing a lot of time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got caught with a lot of drugs, like crack, cocaine, heroin, fentanyl pills, weed, all type of, like, yeah, I was trapping, but it's crazy. This time, them wasn't even my drugs. This time it was my drugs, you know what I'm saying? But I took the charge from, like, man, I stood on business, bro, like, cause I'm like, I don't know, I still was living by some type of principle that I couldn't tell. You didn't see right in my mind to tell on somebody, but either way, even if I would have told, there's like they was gonna find a guy. So I said, even if I tell like what they're gonna find him. He don't even live here. He lives in that somewhere in Atlanta or something. Even I didn't know where he lived at. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, but anyway, because I kept the real, God bless me, bro. Yeah, I stood out for like 10 months through that whole journey, but I just kept going in faith, man. And yeah, and on top of that, my green card was expired. And I was like, God, and, you know, this was doing, it's still going on. I took the ICE immigration thing going on, right? So I'm like, my green card is expired. So I'm like, man, I hope they don't deport me. God, I got to the point where, like, man, I was sitting in jail for so long. I'm like, God, you know what? Just send me back to Africa then, you know what I'm saying? But really, deep down inside, I didn't want to go back to Africa. Yeah, I didn't want to go there. But I got to the point as I continue to walk in Christ, I'm like, God, man, if you want me to go back to Africa, just, that's what you wanted. That's how you want me to just send me back then. You know, so I got to the point where I just completely surrendered to God. But I was not trying to go to prison, though. Because I told God, if you send me to prison for all them years, bro, I'm either going to kill everybody and get myself killed, or I'm going to get killed trying to escape. But I was not going to, feel me? That was my plan. I was not going to, I ain't going to lie, you feel me? Real spirit, but God came through and had a lot of people praying for me, people in Africa, churches praying for me, all that, and it made me come back to God. It made me, when he did that for me, even before I got released, like, I would have dreams. So I continue to witness miracles in jail. I'm writing it's gonna be in my book, all the miracles I continue to witness, experience, and that's what led me my faith to grow. When it got to the point where I even prisoners, older people, they started looking up to me. I would be in the dorm by myself, sitting out my Bible or my book. I was writing a book, and they'll come to me like, hey, bro, you like a light, bro. You like it, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm drawn towards you, bro. You always by yourself. You sitting there by yourself, and you look like, you know what I'm saying? But I also interact with everybody and just, I would say, what's up, and keep it pushing. And they respect it. They're like, man, it's something about you. But it wasn't, I was like that. Cause when I first started off, when I was in jail, I was in chaos. I was provoking. I would walk around rapping belligerent and rap lyrics and provoking rap lyrics and my hope. And then just, you know, I was saying, but through the power of Christ, man, he transformed my life, bro. He really did. And people seen the experience, they seen the transformation, bro. They're like, because when people will go to the hole and they'll come back and they'll see, okay, months later, like, hey, bro, you the same person. One of my partners came, they're like, man, what did they do to this guy? I had to become totally different, bro. And that's the power of God, you know what I'm saying? And I'm here to tell y'all, he do the same for you. If he changed my life situation I was in, I know he could do that for you. If he changed me, and they show you like nobody's ever too far gone for God. If he can do that for me, he'll do that for you. And yeah, just be on the lookout for my testimony. Be on the lookout for my book. It's war, you know what I'm saying?